I love Elf. I love Dunkin' Donuts. The only thing I love more than both of those things, it's a pink donut. I don't actually know if this is gonna be good for putting on makeup. It doesn't really seem like it would be just because of the shape and the texture of it, but I'm gonna try it. I love pink donuts. I don't know, I have like a weird obsession with pink donuts. It's the only donut I buy at Dunkin' Donuts. Even at other places when I go get a donut, I always get a pink donut first. I know it's strawberry frosted, but whatever. I love pink donuts, always have, always will. Had to buy the sponge, and let's go try it out. It says it can be used wet or dry. The texture of the donut is actually really interesting. I was not expecting it to be this texture, but it kind of is just like a beauty sponge texture, maybe a little bit more dense. It's very soft. It would be like a really nice microfiber pillow, honestly. I'm gonna go wet it though, and I'll be right back. It did pretty substantially increase in size. It's definitely more squishy now. It's not as soft as some of my beauty sponges that I have, but it's pretty soft now, and it definitely got much bigger. I don't know that I needed it to be any bigger, but it happened. Let's get started and actually put on some makeup with it. For primer today, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I have a little sample of this and I've never used it before, so I am excited to try it. All right, before I forget, I'm gonna put in my hair clips so I don't get a ton of foundation in my hair. I'm gonna be using my NARS Light Reflecting Foundation just because I love this foundation. It's so good, and I know that I can't beat it with literally anything I've ever tried, so I'm gonna use it and give this sponge the opportunity it deserves. All right, here goes nothing. Okay, well, it's certainly very big. It's a nice finish. Looks like a sponge finish. It definitely soaked up a lot of the product, so I think on this side, I'm just gonna dot it on with my finger. Let's do a little, oh shit. Because usually 4 pumps is enough to like fully cover my entire face. So let's put it on with my finger and now blend. I mean, this is gimmicky, but honestly, I'm here for it. I love pink donuts, so honestly, this actually might even be a good sponge for like cleaning purposes or something, or an actual makeup sponge. Yes, it's gimmicky. It's probably not the most functional, but it does work. I would say don't use a foundation that's expensive though, because it does soak up a lot of the product. Typically when I use a brush, I get medium to full coverage out of this with 4 to 6 pumps. With this sponge, it is giving me light coverage with 8 pumps. So yeah, you're definitely not going to get great coverage out of this, but I really don't want to waste too much product, so I'm just gonna not go as heavy, I guess, today as I usually do. This foundation is so pretty. You could probably blend it in with a sock and it would look good. Literally, it's just such a good foundation. I don't think it could ever look bad. All right, there it is with the sponge, but let me go into concealer now. So first, I'm gonna go in with this Bobbi Brown color corrector because my under eyes are super dark right now, and I'm not gonna blend this in with a sponge because it's not really a sponge blending in type product. I have dry under eyes, so I find that using my finger for this is best. I will use the concealer with the sponge. My skin is so dry today. Maybe because I haven't eaten a vegetable in 8 years. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I ate a vegetable last night. NARS Creamy Concealer. This is Light 2 Vanilla. I don't love this concealer, but it is creamy and it is radiant. So I'm gonna use this since my face is so dry, especially my under eyes look like disheveled newspaper. That's how wrinkly they look. Really trying to get that inner corner like absolutely opaque. I know people say that the trend is no longer to shellac concealer, like you're trying to glue something to your face, but I need it. I need to cover up the dark circles. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a couple seconds, especially because I know that this soaked up a lot of the NARS foundation, so I'm assuming I'm not gonna get as good coverage under my eyes either, so just trying to do my best and make sure I have some type of a good concealer day before I do the rest of my makeup. Okay, I think that's been enough time. I mean, over here on the under eye, it's fine because you can get in there pretty easily with the big sponge, but it's not easy in the inner corner. Here it is blended out. It actually did blend out really nicely, but I don't have as much coverage as I usually do, that's for sure. And again, the outer corner, not difficult to blend out. It's the inner corner that you really have to like shove the sponge in there. It is a good texture of a sponge. So in that way, it's a perfectly fine sponge. I just think, again, it's a little bit big to be using for your entire face. I'm gonna do some more concealer because I lost some of it, some of the coverage just in the inner portion. And then I'm gonna put some concealer on my face as well. I would say it soaks up more than the typical sponge that I use. I usually use the AOA. It's a good look. I usually use the AOA sponge, the Dr. Pawpaw one. It might not be Dr., but it's definitely Pawpaw. I usually use that one. It does not soak up as much product as this sponge did. So I know that sponges typically do soak up product and they give less coverage, but I'm saying even beyond that, this soaks up even more than what I'm used to. Let's blend out my concealer mustache. I'm gonna pinch it as much as I can to make it smaller. It's not enjoyable blending out your concealer with this, but I had to try it. I need some help for my fingers in the inner corner. I just don't like doing that because I feel like it looks more crepey and more liney when I use my fingers in the inner corner, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Let me wipe some of this foundation off my lips. There we go. There is foundation and concealer with this new e.l.f. donut sponge with Dunkin' Donuts. It's cute. I'm not upset that I got it. Unless you're doing like highlighting or something, don't blend out your under eye concealer with this because it's very hard to get into the inner eye. It does soak up more product than I'm used to, so beware of that. I need to put some lip stuff on. My lips are so dry. As far as someone who is obsessed with pink donuts, and pink donuts are very meaningful in their life, this, I'm not upset that I got it, but is it a great sponge? No. I think that if you love pink donuts like I do, or if you love the look of this sponge, get it. Are you gonna use it that often? Probably not. Thank you so much for watching my e.l.f. Dunkin' Donuts collab sponge review. I had to get this. The eyeshadow palettes and everything else didn't really catch my eye, but again, I love a pink donut. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Come back, make sure you subscribe, like this video, you know the drill. Just press all of the happy buttons on the page and I'll see you next time.